Welcome to Shul Machshav on the Daf. She responds to Nishman Sam Yaakov Shalom Le'Abbas Yitzchok. We're holding Avoda Zara Daf Mem Gimel. As we're getting closer to Tisha B'Av, we have something in Yonim Deyoimo in this Daf. The Gemara tells us that with Beis that there was a Shul in Naharda'ah. They had in it an Naharda'ah, had a statue in it, and the Gemara calls the Shul what? B'knishta d'Shav v'Yossi b'Naharda'ah. What does it mean, Shav v'Yossi b'Naharda'ah? So Rashi makes two explanations. Explanation number one, he says, Shem Makom Shaya b'Medinas Naharda'ah. It's a place in Naharda'ah. V'yeshem, some say, Tetzichanyo v'galuso inotlu imoy me'avni Yerushalayim u'me'afara. Chana took from the stone of Yerushalayim and from its earth, from its sand. U'bna'u sham, b'hayu the Shav v'Yossi b'Naharda'ah, nishev kan v'yisashev kan. It moved from Yerushalayim and it came here to Naharda'ah. The Aruch says more than that. The Aruch says that it wasn't just they took the stone and sand of Yerushalayim, but they took from the stones of Beis Hamikdash. From the stones of Beis Hamikdash they took and they went from Yerushalayim and built the Shul in Naharda'ah. Which is a side point. The Alkot Meiri points out there's a sefer which is called Kisvei HaNosea Rabbi Yomin Metudela. Rabbi Yomin Metudela traveled around the world and he wrote a diary, and that's a sefer that came out. He mentions there that in Naharda'ah there's a place which is called Pshit Toiv, and it was built from the stones of Yerushalayim. It's from his sand. That's what he brings. So everybody says, where is Pshit Toiv? We don't know this place. So he brings the Merkeves HaMishnah that many times Chazal take a word which is in a different language, and they show that it's two words in Lashon HaKodesh. He says the same thing over here. Pshit Toiv is the name, the Persian name, but it's made out of two words, Shaf v'Yosif. Shaf v'Yosif is Pshit Toiv. So that's what was mentioned in that diary, what we have in our Gemara. The Chasam Sofer and Shul and Yerideh, similar Reish Samach Dalet. See, he brings this in the name of Rashi. It says the name of Rashi that Shav Yosef and Naharda'ah, they took the stones from the Beis Hamikdash, and he asks that how can you take the stones of Beis Hamikdash? What about Kedusha's Beis Hamikdash? You're not allowed to use anything of Beis Hamikdash. How can I take it from Beis Hamikdash and put it in a shul? So the footnotes over there in the Chasam Sofer says Rashi never said that. Rashi says it was from the stones of Yerushalayim. He never said it came from Beis Hamikdash. He says part of the Chasam Sofer is referring to the Aruch, who says these stones came from Beis Hamikdash. So Chasam Sofer wants to say that there's a concept bo b'pritzi mechilaluah, that once the Goyim went to Beis Hamikdash, they took away the Kedusha from the stones of Beis Hamikdash. So of course you're not allowed to take a stone of Beis Hamikdash, put it in a shul stam. But once Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, now you can take that stone and put it in a shul. The Sefer Maaseh Lamelech on the Rambam in Perikal Beis in Hilchos Beis Abchira in the beginning, he brings this question to Chasam Sofer, and he says that what they did is they took from the stones and earth that's below Beis Hamikdash, the mechilos, the tunnels below Beis Hamikdash, they don't have kedusha, and that's what they took from. They didn't take from the actual Beis Hamikdash. And the Sefer Cheshav Ha'efet Chelik Beis Simin Nun Zayin. So he brings this discussion, he brings the Aruch, he says maybe Rashi, the fact that Rashi can explain the Aruch, maybe he argues with the Aruch, but he asks a question, which really Chasam Sofer also alludes to in the end of his Shuvah. He says, but Yechonyo, that Rashi is referring to, he went to Golus 11 years before Churban Beis Hamikdash. So when we went to Golus, Beis Hamikdash was still there. How can I take the stones of Beis Hamikdash? So he says you have to say, even according to the Aruch, it doesn't mean they took the actual stones of Beis Hamikdash. What it means, stone of Beis Hamikdash means the stones that were around Beis Hamikdash, when Yerushalayim in that vicinity. So there's no raya at all that you could come and use the stones of Beis Hamikdash for a shul. But we see over here, there was a shul that says of there that the Shekhinah did not leave that shul, that was built from the stones, the rocks of Yerushalayim, and according to the Aruch Pashup Pshat, they were the rocks of Beis Hamikdash. And the Maaseh Lamelech that we mentioned, he refers to that. That's part of the idea of Avaya, that we always have to remember Beis Hamikdash. Why did they do that? They wanted to have a zikaron in Bavel, Beis Hamikdash. They always to go and daven there and remember in Makom Hamikdash, the place of connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this is one of the chiyuvim that we have. Tzion, Doirish Ein Law. There's a tainah, and people are now waiting and yearning for Yerushalayim Beis Hamikdash. And when we are in Golus, we don't have it. We have to at least have that cheshek, that desire to go to Beis Hamikdash. And this is one of the things they did in order to have that connection, is to build a Beis, to build a shul, which reminds us of Beis Hamikdash every time they go into there. And therefore it's a special shul that Shekhinah was always there. Anyone who wants to join the Shul Machshava email list to Hotzigal, please email shulmachshava@gmail.com.